And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to the Dice Tower. Today we're taking a look at a game called GrimmoiR, which is a game in which fairy tale creatures, who are not quite so Disney-fied here, are going after each other in the fierce and bloody war that fairy tales tend to do. This is not the first time we've seen this, like, hey, it's Cinderella, but with a machine gun! That's kind of what this is, right? But it takes it very seriously. It is a two-player tactical game in which you are trying to eliminate all the other person's characters. Here's how it plays. The first thing you're going to do is pick a team. There are 5 factions in the game, and they all have names, and I just call them pink, green, black, brown, and yellow. But you have to pick 4, you have to have 6 characters. 4 have to come from one of the factions, and then the remaining 2 can come from the factions that are next to it, or from the same faction. So for example, let's say I'm picking the pink faction, I can take 4 pink characters and a green and a yellow. Or I could have taken 5 pink and a yellow, or I could have taken 6 pink, whatever. So these are my 6 characters on my team. Players will then take turns, one person putting one of the cards face down on the table in kind of a grid that's going to be played. It's going to be a 4x3 grid. The other player placing one like that, and then one next to it, and then you placing 2. And then the other person putting down 1, and then you'll put your last 3 cards face down at the same time, and then reveal them, showing the grid here. And this is kind of the combat zone for the game. Let's turn it sideways to see it better. Some characters will have book tokens and or pen tokens on them, and that's going to be based on this here. This basically shows that they have 1 pen token placed on them, and this shows that they have a book token placed on them. So as we look at the different cards here, there is 3 different kinds of attack. There is an attack value, there's hit points and strength and character skills that are on these. So as we look at the cards, you've already seen this corner here is basically shows the faction. And then we have different kinds of attack in the corner, where you have a melee attack, a ranged attack, and a magic attack. Those are the 3 different types of attack. Down here you simply have their hit points essentially, and then a special ability. And Cinderella here seems to be a little messed up here, wearing 2 different outfits, but hey, she has a gun and a broom, a bloody broom. Each round of the game, players are going to be spending coins, which are essentially actions. The first player will have 4. After that, you always have 5 coins on your turn, and you're going to use these coins. Now, many times you're going to just use a coin to attack somebody. So a melee attack means you can attack someone directly in front of you. A range attack means you can attack anyone in the same column, and a magic attack means you can hit anyone on the board. So if the person is not exhausted, it costs 1 coin. If they are exhausted or tapped, they cost 2. So in this case, I could pay 1 coin, and he would hit this person here for 2 damage. That's it. If you have damage that is equal to your health, then you are eliminated from the game. You're removed off the board. If there's someone behind you, they'll automatically move up. But you can also pay coins to move people and attack. If you have a book, you can pay a coin and tap someone and spend the book. So, for example, this steadfast tin soldier, instead of exhausting his character after attack, you can flip the book and place a wound on one of your characters. So I could shoot him multiple times if I want to. Snow White, for example, here, when she makes an attack, you can flip the book to deal 1 attack to each opponent's character. Well, you know what? If I was playing with her, I'd stick her in the back row, and that might be the very first thing I do. Hit all the other characters for 1 damage. But they have the Princess and the Pea, who she can exhaust any character. So if I used her first, I would spend her book to exhaust the opponent's character. And that's it. You're just going to go back and forth until you've killed all your opponent's characters. If you do so, you win. So the pieces that you have with the game are fine. They're not great, but they're health tokens, books, coins. You have these that show that someone has a +1 attack or -1 attack, things like that. The cards themselves, the art of the game, So this is Hansel here. It's basically the same, as I've seen before. Hey, they're fairy tales, but they're stronger. They're meaner, they're tougher. Look at Hans. He's carrying a lamppost or something. And when he takes magic damage, he only gets half of it. That's his special ability. The little match girl who has gone insane because first of all, she's probably a pyromaniac, but secondly, that's not a little match. At the end of the round, you put a pen token on this card, and her strength is increased by 1 for each pen on it, and she does 2 magic, which is pretty cool. Gretel can attack any character in the opponent's first row. Brave Knight is just brave. He has no special ability, but he has 11 hit points when you pick him. Alice can swap the front 2 characters. Alright, so there's the Naked King, who kind of looks like a sumo wrestler, and I'm not sure they understand what the word naked means, but whatever. And you can see Big Bad Wolf, straight out of Deliverance. And I already shown you Cinderella's Sleeping Beauty. So yeah, there's the bad stepmother, who incidentally seems like one of the nicer people in this group. I don't know what's going on with Pinocchio. So, I guess the fox, is he going to hit on, is he forming a band, a witch? So again, you can see the artwork on here, and some people are going to love this artwork. Other people are going to be, on it. I'm kind of a little more horrified at it, I think, than anything else. Here's another Hansel. You can pick which one you want to use. This guy has a gun. So anyway, this kind of gives you an idea. I will say this, though. These are very clear. This card here shows you the team, so you don't have to look in the rule book for that. But the whole thing is, it works well. I don't have to sit there and wonder what everyone does. You won't know everyone's special ability, but the first time they use it, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. Games are fairly short. Well, there's one thing we can certainly say about this game. It's simple. It really is. And it's also going to be fairly quick. You may have characters killed before they have a chance to do anything. That's just the way it goes. Boom, hit you with a ranged attack. Boom, hit you with a melee. And we just go back and forth. I'm not convinced there's a ton of strategy in the game. Yes, building your deck is an interesting aspect to the game. Hey, I'm going to build my deck up. I'm going to put it together. And I like that you can pick one faction and then pick some from the next 2 factions. I don't know, is it broken if you just picked any 6 characters in the game? Maybe. And this kind of at least limits your deck building. That's interesting. Combat itself, you have these special abilities that you might as well use on turn 1. Maybe wait 1 turn before using them, because your character's going to die. So you might as well just go and just blast away. So some people are going to enjoy this because of hey, it's a grim fairy tale. That's not a new thing. There's a lot of games that do that now. Some people will like the fairly, not gory per se, but dark theming. I found all that stuff okay, and the deck building okay, and the combat okay. It's kind of just an okay game. It's interesting, but it's not memorable because there's so many of these 2v2 game or 1 vs 1 games, where you have these characters. So you pick your 6 characters, you put them out, and then they quick fight, and then it's over. It's like a skirmish. And there's no luck in the game. If you think about it, there really isn't. It's all kind of how you put out your guys, and then the order you determine they attack. So that's cool. It's just because there's no luck, there's also kind of not that much excitement. You realize after a while, I can kind of figure out what's going to happen here, and you're going to beat me here. Yeah, that's going to happen. And so, sure, Red Riding Hood, with a bloody axe, or the little match girl wielding a match bigger than I've ever seen in my life. That's interesting theming. The game is okay. And that's about the best I can say about it. And that's unfortunate, right? Because this is a game that a lot of people aren't going to notice. Most of you who probably clicked on this review have never even heard of this game. But if you come across it, it certainly is worth a whirl. The fact that it says 20 minutes in the box, which I think is kind of overestimating it. It's probably 15 minutes or faster. 20 minutes if you play slow. And again, it can also go to a point where if I have 3 characters left and you have 1, you can just, I'm out. Because you cannot win, because there is no luck. I think a smidge of luck might have helped us a bit. Other than that, it's just, do you like the dark fairy tales or not? That's GrimmoiR. Dice Tower Judgment, it's an interesting 2-player combat game.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.